You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Guys, today we are super excited about having a guest interview lined up for you guys, and that is a familiar voice, and we're really excited about the service that these guys have to offer. Pay attention if you guys are looking to grow, looking to gain market share, learn into how to get new customers and want to get new customers. This is the firm and the team behind us and our success, and I am really excited about releasing her to you guys today. We've got none other than returning guest Samantha Heald joining us from the good old Postcard Mania. Samantha, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be back on the show and hopefully bring you guys some new exciting tips and refresh your memory and all the good stuff that we can do.
Absolutely. Well, we love having you on the show. You're usually at least a once, if not a twice a year returning guest. And really, I call it like an industry insider. Like, you really have some great knowledge and understanding about postcard marketing, website marketing. So before we go too far down the rabbit hole, I do want to maybe just back up a little bit and give a little bit of context about the conversation we're going to have today about marketing and mailers and really door hangers and all that, conversation, because 'tis the season. The spring rush is right on our front door. A lot of guys are making the decision to invest into marketing materials, ourselves included. And so very, very timely conversation. And frankly, guys, I want you to hear it from the horse's mouth. This is one of the largest, if not one of the largest postcard marketing, firms out there that we were able to partner with just a few years ago. And so Samantha is my contact there. She's done an amazing job for so many of you guys, dozens, if not hundreds of clients so far. So Samantha, just a little quick background for anybody who hasn't listened to one of our previous shows. What's your background? What do you do at Postcard Mania? And maybe give me that 2-minute highlight reel that we like to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. So hard to believe it, but I have been with Postcard Mania for 19 years. In August, it'll be 20, which
That's
is
awesome.
Unreal.
Congrats.
Yes.
That's huge.
Thank you. I'm the VP of Corporate Sales. So I set up relationships like, partnering with Brian. And what's really amazing, too, is our company, we've been around for 25 years, and we print everything in-house. We do anything related to direct mail. We also print brochures and, as you mentioned, door hangers, websites. I mean, literally anything that you would need relating to marketing, we pretty much cover all of that. And we do it all here in our location. Nobody works remote, so it's all like super quality control just because of the fact that we can do everything here, which is pretty awesome. It's a great company to work for.
That's awesome. And you guys are down in the greater Tampa area, if I'm not mistaken.
Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We came down there, myself and Blake Albertson, and you guys might have heard the story before if you guys are a regular listener. But if you guys are new, I actually went down there for a family vacation, zipped up the road an hour to go check this place out because it was a new relationship to me about 2-3 years ago. And my mind was blown. I thought it was going to be a corner office, FedEx Kinko's, small mom and pop shop. I had no idea until you turn this corner, then you turn another corner and you see this like 3-level parking garage and huge print facility, huge office facility, couple layer, office space, hundreds of people. One of the best cultures, one of the best vibes I've ever gotten. And from the ladies from the front desk all the way to Samantha and her team of gals that get to help all of you guys. It's just been really, really, really cool to not only get to work with you guys, but to see the relationship growing. And so here's the thing we want to do is just add some value to you guys today. No hard pitch for Postcard Mania. Samantha's never came on here and just said it's us or die. We don't really do that here. We just like to give you guys options, maybe give you guys some information, some insider tips and tricks that can help you guys as you navigate your marketing efforts this spring. Where I came from with postcards is I actually went with the 7-cent little paper flyers. I got them printed up at Staples. Then we went to a local print shop, and they helped us for a handful of years. And then really, just some context for you guys listening in, ever since we started the social media thing, we had a lot of folks asking us about our postcard templates, and I've seen people struggle with them or make them on their own, or Office Paint, or maybe Canva, and they're not awful, but they don't scream the same professionalism that I think we're really trying to invest with those. So long story short, as somebody's just trying to broker deals for you guys, from the affiliates to the partners that we have on the show, we were able to link up with Postcard Mania, and they caught the vision. They said, hey, we're number one at what we do. Brian, we can totally print, pack, ship, everything that you guys out there are looking for. And so just a little bit of context if you guys are listening in and you're getting your business started. Like I did a video about this maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Samantha. I said, please don't reinvent the wheel. I said, if you're looking for postcard designs, we have them at Launchpreneur Academy. If you're looking for a firm that can print, pack, and ship, you have Postcard Mania. If you're looking for somebody to do a mailer and post campaign reports and QR codes and websites that can help you track the success of that campaign, that's what you guys do. So before we go, again, a little bit more of a value add, we got a couple bullet points that you had some great things to share on today's show. What has the reception been like for you guys? We've had this relationship now for, 3 years, maybe 4 years. So what's the success been like for people that are going your guys' way?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I will say one of the cool things about our company that sets us apart from others is that we catalog all of our results. So if we hear from a client that they were succeeding in their direct mail and they were getting good results, we have a whole team of people that's their job, is they're just cataloging that. What worked about it? What was the offer they put on the design? What was your response rate? How much did you generate? And what's really interesting is just the campaigns that we've been doing, we were getting so much good feedback. And as Brian mentioned, like the template's already there. It's like, it's cookie cutter, but it's cookie cutter for your industry, and it's based on proven industry results. And I actually have a couple of statistics that I wanted to share because I pulled some from some of the campaigns that we've actually run for your referrals. And we had a guy who, he generated 38 calls and he closed 27 of them.
Wow.
And one of the things that I actually realize that a lot of people don't know is, direct mail might be more expensive than sending email marketing or things like that. But the actual close rate on the direct mail campaigns that we've been doing, they close at such a high percentage because the leads that you're generating are way more qualified because of the fact that you're narrowing down the demographics, you're targeting income and home values and single family dwelling units. It's like you're going to the people that you want to service. And we've seen that the close rate is much higher. It's like if you can get them to call, you're pretty much going to close that.
Okay.
Because I have a couple more here, like generated 30 calls, they closed 16. That's a little over 50%, which is great.
Yeah.
Generated 20 calls, closed 15. Generated 20 calls, closed 10. Generated 41 calls, and closed 31. So it's pretty cool that these campaigns are like producing calls and they're getting them and they're closing them. And, I know that's part of their job to do on their end, but it's awesome that we're able to get them quality leads too, that they're actually able to generate income from.
Absolutely. And that's something that we've put our money where our mouth is too. We did a campaign just recently in the fall for commercial site maintenance and snow. We picked up 3 new commercial sites. I mean, that's
awesome.
Yeah, the campaign, I think we did 12 or 1,300 postcard mailers that went out. Small campaign, small route, very targeted area for our business. Those 3 sites, I'd have to do some simple math on them, maybe 10 grand, 3 grand, and then another one's like 7 grand. So what is that? $20,000. Just talking out loud, folks.
Yep.
$20,000 worth of business. First year worth of business. Doesn't count lawn.
I was going to say, is that immediate revenue or is that long term? Because actually, how long does a contract normally stay with you? Like for a business, if they sign up with you, or is it normally something they'll stay for a few years?
The industry average, like I've heard a couple people quote a couple different things, but usually 7 years. So, I mean, simple math, that's a 6-figure return on a, I think we spent $1,500, maybe $2,000 on that whole campaign. We did a mailer to 1,300 sites. We did 2 mailers, if you remember, back to back, about 3 weeks apart. Mm-hmm. And that's without lawn as well, or any upsells, or getting the customers next door for, improved route density. So, I hear people say like all kinds of conversation, postcard marketing, like it's expensive, or you only get 1 or 2% return. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how much of a return do you need? Like, if I just turned $1,500 into $100,000 worth of business, like, I mean, this is exactly,
it's worth it.
Yeah, this is what you're looking for. So
who Who wouldn't want that? If you could tell people, hey, if you spend $2,000 and you'll get $100,000, nobody would turn you down on that.
That's what I'm saying. So like, people always ask me like, what do you believe works? Like if you're trying to get 50 new clients fast, or trying to get commercial sites that maybe they don't have a mailbox out front, or they don't have a PO box. Like how do you, or there's some bigger corporate account, how do you get those? I'm like, well, you have to do direct mail. You have to do some website marketing. You have to get in front of them. And it's all pay to play. Like you're a business owner. You got to start making these investments. I love it. I'll tee it back to you if you have any final thoughts on that. But if not, we have your list of messaging and different points that you wanted to bring up. I love this stuff. I'll kick it to you, and I'll let you kind of roll for a minute or two. I'm going to get a sip of water. I'm still actually getting over a little bit of a cough here, guys, myself. I do apologize. But Samantha, I'm going to tee it back over to you if you want to add anything to that. And where are we going next on this conversation?
Attention all entrepreneurs. Achieve more in 24 with Entrepreneur Academy's Link membership. For a limited time only through April 30th, when you join Link, you'll receive an exclusive offer. Free registration for you and your team to the Equip Exposition in Louisville, Kentucky. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Connect, learn, and grow your business while staying up to date on industry trends and innovations. Elevate your entrepreneurial journey today by joining Link. Seize this incredible offer and propel your business to new heights. Unlock your free registration to Equip for yourself and your team when you purchase your Link membership before April 30th. You got it. There's a link for that in the show description.
Perfect. Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk about a little bit more was, there's a lot of tools that you can use which are free marketing. And, it's like we're trying to figure out like, okay, how can you invest back into your business and generate more leads? And obviously, the more free marketing that you're doing, the more you can invest into paid too. But with free marketing, I just wanted to bring up a really good one that a lot of people forget about, and that is Google reviews. A lot of people these days, really, it's like they want social proof. If you see a company that has 5 reviews and it's 2 stars, you're less likely to use them. If you have somebody that even has 130 but 4 stars, you're way more interested in going with a company that has more reviews and more ratings. So I think that's extremely important to put attention on, and it doesn't cost you anything. All you have to do is literally ask your customers for reviews. And you can simply do an email blast and send it out and ask them for reviews, especially if you've been servicing them for a bit and you know that they're like a good client. Mm-hmm. Email them. If they're a terrible customer, I would probably not email them because you don't want to get a 1-star review.
Right. Sure. That's funny. Yeah. No, and we talk about that.
It's really important.
Yeah, we talk about that quite a bit, and that's something that's low-hanging fruit. It doesn't cost any money to, like you said, to shoot a text or an email. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. And another thing that I was going to mention too, like the leads that you get in, we don't close 100% of the people that we talk to. And I just wanted to bring up another really good point that a lot of people forget about. They think, okay, if I didn't close this lead on this call or maybe even a follow-up call, or they said no at that point, most people just write them off and say, great, I'll never talk to them again. And I just wanted to bring up a point of building a database of people who were interested at one point in time. I think it's extremely important to have some type of CRM or even an Excel sheet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you have to be super tech savvy. But just making a list of what was that person's name, what was their phone number, their email address, and their address. If you can get all of it, great. If you can get pieces of it, great. But building that list, you're going to be able to do a lot more marketing to those people, and you've already spent the money to get them to have called or done some type of marketing effort. So if you get their phone number, great, that's a follow-up call. You could be doing in 3 months if things are slow. Reach back out. Hey, how's your current provider? Do you like them? Do you want to switch? You could easily just do that in some downtime. You could set them up on email promo that now they're just getting funnel emails and things like that. And that's like a free database.
I've never even considered that. That's actually a super good tip. Yeah. I've never even thought about that. Ever since we had our website rebranded and updated 18 months ago for my brother, that's an interesting thought because we get, between, 5 and 25 submission forms a month on our website. And it's so interesting you bring that up because number one, maybe you don't do that service right now, but maybe your company grows the next 2 years and you get into gutter cleaning or patios or flower installations, and you can have hey, we don't do that now, but if we grow and, maybe in a year we'll get back to you if we get into that. That's like, you have this long database. That's so interesting. Like, I kind of cringe right now thinking about how many people have probably called my phone over 20 years of services I didn't offer. I'm like trying to find the 1 in 100 over here sometimes. And, but I'm like, oh my God, I actually don't want to think that thought too much.
Well, the other thing I was thinking too, it's like, I can tell you, so my husband and I, we have had our lawn guys, I want to say for 2 years now.
Okay.
And they're okay. They come out and, they do their job, but they're not great, and we've asked them actually if they could give us an estimate on, doing some landscaping and things like that. And they literally never followed up on it. So I do think also it's like, if somebody was to email me and call me and say, hey, we want to come out and do an estimate for you. Are you interested in switching? We would be interested, so just because they're using somebody now doesn't mean that they might not be interested in switching. So if you're not following up to them, that's somebody who was interested at some point in time. So, they're probably paying somebody.
Well, not only that, it's such a great conversation starter right there. Not only that, but I'm thinking to myself, what if you had like 10 people that asked for power washing and you're like, no, I don't do it. But after the 9th person, you're maybe dense like myself, and you go, you know what? Yeah. I just had 9 people ask me for power washing in 6 weeks. Like, maybe there's something there, and we're trying to put in patios and nobody's calling, but we've got $10,000 worth of power washing work or pressure washing work, and I'm like, hey, why don't we learn a little bit of a new skill set and slide over a little bit and tackle that or do some outdoor lighting or something. That's I love that, because with postcard marketing, you can really track the conversion. You can really track the phone calls. It's really interesting. Like, can you talk more about that? Because you talked about those success stories earlier. But you guys have like the QR code I know that we put on our campaign. I'm sure you got a bunch of other tools and metrics that you guys measure. That the business is like in the data. Like, I'm really trying to get better at the data we collect. Frankly, even collecting the data, like you just mentioned. So talk to me a little bit more about conversion and measuring. Because what gets measured gets improved, right? Isn't that the old saying?
Yep, exactly. One cool thing that we actually just kind of launched or kind of figured out that we could do is that QR codes actually have the ability, and we can set it up, that if somebody scans it, it would automatically create a text message. So you could say, text us for an estimate. Literally, somebody could scan that and it pops up an SMS and has like a pre-written message that somebody could easily just hit send, and then it sends off. And that way you could have somebody who's interested and just didn't have the time to call. And I feel like that's huge, because you have so many people that are like working out in the field and they're busy and all that. Your guys, your technicians, your lawn care guys. I feel like that would be a great tool of getting somebody interested to like start a conversation. So I thought that was really amazing. And I feel like for your guys, I would love to test that since we just launched it. I'm like, yes, I feel like that's huge.
That is cool. Well, I've heard people having success with that. And I've seen postcards come in our mail where you scan it, then it goes to a website and usually a video. And it's a sizzle reel, for 60 seconds about not a hard sell, but just more of like a broader introduction. It helps them go down the rabbit hole, Yep,
exactly. Yeah, there's so many different things you can do with that. With the QR codes, it's great. We can track how many scans you got, which is nice because just like you said, for metrics, to see what's actually working. There's call tracking phone numbers. There's landing pages. You can see how many form submissions you've gotten. It's like any kind of way that you can track it. I do feel like it always opens the door for more improvement on your marketing. If you're getting way more leads because you mailed a certain time, or if you used an offer and you're getting way more responses from one particular offer, now you should offer that every time you send out a promotion. So it's really fun actually to get into the nitty gritty to kind of figure that out.
Well, and again, like if you don't have the time or the bandwidth to do this all on your own, right? That's why we have you guys. I mean, it sounds kind of funny, but like Tom Wheelwright, super successful guy, Robert Kiyosaki, the real estate guy, that's his CPA. He said the 3 most expensive words in the English language are "do it yourself." And if you guys are looking to build a company, and build a team and focus on certain things that you can focus on and hire out other things that maybe you don't have time, expertise, or the bandwidth for. This is the exact kind of conversation. And it's not just, Vistaprint guys that can print your postcards. That's something that I really hammered on this video about 3 weeks ago on YouTube, a month ago, and I was a little bit more raw. I get frustrated, if I can be honest. Like the Fullerton Unfiltered part of me is like, I get frustrated, Samantha, when people are like, "Well, hey, I got your design. I know you promote Postcard Mania, and this campaign would be $1,000, but I can get it for $925 somewhere else." Or I can do the customization, and I'm pretty good with Photoshop, or my brother-in-law is good with Photoshop. And I can go pass them out handbill instead of doing a mailer, for a couple $100. And I'm just thinking to myself, with all love and respect, like you're missing the broad idea, you're missing the concept. Like, don't reinvent the wheel. Like, the paved road is already there. Just use it, and not only use it, go 200 miles an hour on it, and like, let's really crush this thing. And don't get so lost in the weeds of saving $25 or $100 here and there. And I know I count pennies all the time, especially my first 10, 12 years in business. And we still do, frankly. But catch the broader concept of what we're trying to do here. And that's get the phone to ring, get high quality leads, find targeted customers that we're really looking for to grow our business, and stop messing around, stop playing around. Like, we're really trying to help you guys grow. Let Postcard Mania go to work for you. And again, not a hard pitch here. We definitely want to just lead with helping you guys out with some different ideas and thoughts today. But I get so worked up because I hate seeing people reinvent the wheel all the time. And it doesn't matter how many podcasts I do in the springtime. One of the best part about being an entrepreneur is that you're always creative, and sometimes too creative for your own good, if that makes some sense. So, Samantha, you got any thoughts on all the above?
It makes sense.
Yeah, not to rant, but...
I actually had a question for you.
Okay.
No, I actually had a question for you. You brought up a good point. You had mentioned about like counting pennies and stuff. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you, so we do sometimes get people that we chat to, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, I just bought new equipment, and that's what I'm spending my money on right now, so I can't market." And I was actually curious because I know for us at Postcard Mania, like when Joy was building this company, one of the things is that she always bought used equipment. And I think still to this day, and we're 25 years later, we're successful. We could buy new equipment. We still buy used equipment, and we beat the crap out of it. And it saves us money, so then that way we're not buying new equipment. However, I know there's certain like necessities to buy new equipment for certain things. And my question to you is, when does it make sense to like buy new equipment and invest in that over marketing? What are your thoughts on that?
That's a good one. That's a whole nother podcast episode for a whole nother time. It really depends on your business and business model, and really, obviously, it's going to go back to your cash flow. Like Joy said, we were growing this thing, and she was pumping everything she could into marketing, expanding probably the brand, and really investing into her team, which were her people. So in that regard, a brand new printer versus a printer, I would imagine, rolling out these postcards that's 8 years old, but still has some longevity in that machine for another 5 years, and maybe a little bit of a maintenance bill once a year. Like that was her priority, was to grow the business and get the business growing and get the customers in. And frankly, it's the same thing with the mower. I see a lot of folks struggle with trailers and mowers and trimmers and blowers and Echo versus steel. And I'm like, you got to really remember what a business is at the end of the day. And this is probably a weird roundabout way of answering your question, but a business is designed, should be, my personal belief, it's designed to make you money. It's designed to help you cash flow. It's designed to produce a certain income to help you provide a lifestyle. And so the number one thing that what's the one common denominator that all businesses have? It's customers, right? So if people always ask like, hey, where's the priority of my spending, or where should a portion of my budget go? It should be to acquire customers or to keep the customers you already have. Sometimes we forget about that. It's nurturing those relationships too. So, like weird answer probably for you, but to me, like I'd rather, if somebody was looking at a 10 grand mower and then they're tapped out, they have no more money left, or looking at a 6 grand mower and then they had a couple grand left for some trailer wrap signage, some vehicle magnets, and $1,500 for postcards. Well, you probably already know my answer on that one, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? You have to figure out the budget. I agree. I was just curious, and listening to you, I think that makes sense. It's like finding that balance where you can do everything, because you probably there's points where you're like, I need a new this, and that makes sense,
Yep.
But you're right. It's like top of the line or something maybe medium that'll hold you over, that you can invest in other things. It's balance, right?
Yeah, well, and I got to borrow a line from my buddy Mike Andes. We were at Energize Conference, which was at Equip Expo a year and a half ago, and now we're talking. We're at an equipment trade show, Samantha. This is like the Super Bowl of what we do, right? And we had this panel and 400 people in the room, and he goes, "I'm going to say something that's probably super unpopular." He goes, "Every catalog you picked up today, you need to throw them out. And what you need to do is go home and buy my postcards or Brian's postcards and go start marketing your business." He said a $12,000 lawnmower isn't going to bring you in any new money. It's just a big fancy piece of equipment. But if you spent $1,000 on postcards, like my personal case study, guys, again, not here to sell or convince you guys. Most of you guys listening for any length of time know where my heart is. Again, I spent $1,500 on a postcard campaign that had an immediate $20,000 gross, return for what we put in. And I don't know percentages on that. I'm not that smart. Somebody can look at that for me later. But what I will say is I didn't go and buy, I wasn't like, hey, I'm going to grow my business. Let's go buy a new plow. I was like, hey, we're going to be getting new customers because we're spending money. Oh, hey, we need to go buy a plow. And that was kind of the thought process there. So, I'm always a big advocate of you've got to reinvest into the business. And frankly, everybody always thinks, Samantha, new truck, new mowers, new personal truck. And I'm like, dude, you're not really catching it, dude. It's the postcards, it's the website, it's the ad spend on your Google ads, so on and so forth. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like the companies that spend the most on marketing are the ones, especially in uncertain times, uncertain economic times, usually they're the ones that grow the most, because your competition is usually pulling the plug on their marketing budgets or slashing budgets. When anybody who's heard anything from the 07s to 2012 kind of timeline and all the great books that came out during that time, Good to Great and many, many more, they all said the companies that stayed steady and kept reinvesting into their people and in their marketing are the ones that are that grew tremendously with market share, these legacy brands, versus everybody else that just started freaking out and just started slashing their marketing budget. So way different conversation, but I don't know. Any thoughts on that one? That's I'll kick it back to you. That's heavy.
I agree. I know, and I knew it would start a conversation. I was like, I'm not going to tell him. I'm going to ask him this.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Now you're speaking my language,
I know, exactly. But I agree. I mean, I will tell you, because I was here in 2008 when there was the big mortgage crash, around that time period.
Right.
And that, I think, was our only down year. And we stayed consistent with our marketing. We never cut our marketing during COVID. So many people were cutting their budget because they didn't know what was going on. And we were like, okay, Joy said, I literally will go into debt. We're paying our marketing budget. We're not cutting $1, and I'm paying my people. I'm not laying anybody off. And I will tell you, we had highest ever years after year. And I think it's that for that reason.
That's awesome.
But I will tell you too, Joy has a big thing right now. She has a pledge to basically get more people hired. Because right now it's I feel like there's kind of a funky thing going on where there's some people getting laid off and that kind of thing, and she's determined to help small businesses grow so that you can hire more people.
I love that.
But that's a big thing for her. Yeah, and it's if you look at it the purpose behind marketing, it's to help you grow. That's the whole point. So any kind of marketing that you can do, it's better because you're growing and you're expanding, you're helping the economy. So it's big picture, it's helping so much more than just your business,
Yeah, no, I do. And probably the last thought I'll share, just so we don't take your whole afternoon. You got a lot. You're very kind, very generous, very humble with your time, and you're a big fish. So like, folks, she's the director of corporate sales and development at Postcard Mania. Like, she's a big fish. Don't let her fool you. And she asked me softball questions. That's on my third grader pay grade. So don't let her fool you out here. But the thing I'll say is, we've said it many times. Like, if you have a magical machine, I got this from Josh Latimer. If you have this magical machine where you put pennies up top and dollars come out the bottom, and I asked this at Energize, our conference, and I said, how many pennies would you put on the top, or how many dimes would you put in on the top of this magical machine if it was going to put dollars out on the bottom? And somebody, yelled out in the audience, as many as I can find. And I said, exactly. And so I think there's two mindsets there. One is, I didn't know that I have to pay to play, because most of us come from an employee situation, and you don't know that 3 offices over, this is a conversation in that room. Like, maybe you worked in warehouses like myself, and you didn't know there was a whole nother group of individuals at the company talking about marketing budgets and how we're actually going to get all that product in the warehouse to come in and go out. But then number 2 is, maybe you have a business, I got to market, but you're like, hey, the economy, it's uncertain, it's slowing down. I will tell you, it's not uncertain for those who have an offensive marketing strategy. Okay, it's not uncertain. It's not uncertain, and I'll live and die by that statement, because I have no fear that we will be able to get the phone to ring, because I know all my competition right now is full of fear, and they're pulling the plug, and that's how I know we'll grow, and that's how I know we'll take market share. And it's not a bravado, it's not a tough guy thing. It's just a mindset. It's data driven decisions, very rational thinking and approaches. So I love that mission that you guys have with Postcard Mania. It's more than just postcard marketing, guys, if you can't tell. And that's why I just really appreciate that enthusiasm that Samantha brings to the show. And again, not here to give you guys a pitch. If you like the designs that we have at Entrepreneur Academy and you want to go take them to Vista Print and save a few bucks and get them resized, that's fine. But we've made this partnership as fluid as possible. You get the designs at Entrepreneur Academy. You take the design over to postcardmania.com/Brian. You get in touch with Samantha and her corporate team. They know you're coming. They know the campaigns that you're looking for. You can have this stuff printed and shipped, and also maybe mailed out if you want within a week or two. I mean, it's surprisingly fast, and you can have that phone ringing in a week or two, guys. So I love it. I always get charged up about this. I wish I had a little bit more energy from getting over this cough, but it's just, this is like the spring rush is about to happen. And if you're nervous or not just confident maybe going into it as you have in the past, I really would evaluate, can you scrap up, $500, $1,000, a couple $1,000? I think it would pay huge dividends for you guys if you're looking to get the phone to ring. So Samantha, that's my rant. That's my 2 cents. I love what you're sharing. This is always a great value add. We'd love having you on. Any final thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I think exactly what you're saying. I mean, honestly, it's like whatever you can do. It doesn't matter if you have a huge marketing budget or small marketing budget. It's like, just put your attention on it. And I feel like just do it, because the more that you do it, the more you're going to reap the benefits. Like I said, there's a lot of free marketing that you can do. Google reviews, collecting data from your contact list, emailing your customers, asking for referrals, getting your company on Google and just doing a Google, profile. There's just so many things that you can do that don't cost money. And I just feel like it's so, so important to do those things and at least get those established, and then work up your budget so that you can invest more into marketing. Sure.
No, I love that. And kudos to everything that you guys are doing. Thanks for the thoughts and the suggestions here today. I guess last thing we always try to do is, where can people find you guys? Where can people get in touch with your team? I know you give me a report usually about every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks, and the numbers are growing like crazy. You guys are calling, and you guys are making that investment, and I'm excited for you. Like, I don't have any selfish intent here. I just really am like, if more people knew that it's 3 phone calls away to getting $20,000 worth of business, or $50,000 or $100,000 worth of business, like, why wouldn't you make that call? And I always say, like, you can listen to podcasts all day long, but unless you're going to make a decision, take action, pick up the phone, call a Cycle CPA, call a Branded Bull, call a Postcard Mania, Like you're just asking for more of the same. And let's crush the status quo, in 2024. I love the mission that you guys got going on, Samantha. So where can people find you and all that fun stuff? And that's what I got.
I would recommend, so go to www.postcardmania.com/Brian. If you go to Brian, basically you also have access to all the designs. I mean, we've plugged everything there so they can even buy and redirect over to your website, which makes it super simple. But that way we can make sure that you get the discounted pricing. If you call into our company, just make sure you mention Brian's name because we do have special discounted pricing. And we do all the personalization for the designs for free. So any of that stuff we can help you with. And I just want to make sure you come over to our team so we can take care of you.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. Yeah, if you guys just call Postcard Mania, 888 number, 800 number, you guys got to understand, they huge company, okay? So when you go up and they go, hey, I'm Brian sent me, they're going to go, who's Brian? And we're a big...
Well, they actually know you extremely well now.
That's funny. It's like we're like a big small fish or a small big fish, whatever the saying is. So Samantha and I are always trying to funnel, because you guys do get those discounted rates. Those are not the retail rates. So and many times they have different promos going as well, like certain number of free postcards, or like they'll double up certain things, or extra mailers. Like they really are trying to take care of you guys more than just like the retail customer that's just the one-off job for some local small bakery or something like that. Does that make sense? So we really are trying to funnel them to you, the right folks. So go to postcardmania.com/Brian, and then also check out the link in the podcast description. We'll make sure to link that. We'll have Mr. Producer post that there, so that way you guys have access to all that at your fingertips, and check them out. And then give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know the successes. Let me know the failures. Let me know what you guys have working, what's not working. We've had nothing but great conversations. Last thing I'll say, in our Facebook group link, everybody right now is talking about marketing, CRMs, equipment, and Postcard Mania comes up almost every day. And I'd have to kind of do a little bit of an audit, but 99 out of 100 conversations have always been thumbs up or neutral positive or positive with everything that Postcard Mania is doing. Literally. So I'm really excited about that. Who am I? I'm here to just tell you guys everything, right? I get it. But when you have other great folks in the membership leaving testimonies of new customers, new business, happy with their results, like, to me, that speaks volumes with who I get to partner with as well. So, class act team, Samantha, we can't thank you guys enough. And I got to meet the whole team when I saw everybody there in Tampa in person. If you guys are big YouTube video watchers and you guys want to see like the outfit behind, this whole phone call, please check out that video. It's actually really, really fun. Like it'll blow your mind. Like they have these huge machines, huge rollers, all that kind of stuff. Everything that's, putting these postcards out the door for you guys. It's really, really fascinating. I know it sounds kind of dorky and weird, but it's actually really, really cool. So check it out. That's what I got. All right, Samantha, any final thoughts? But thank you so much for today's episode.
Yeah, it was really great being on here, and thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's always been a great relationship, and you're wonderful.
Love it. All right, girl. Well, thank you so much. And again, to you guys that are treating their team classy and class act as well, thank you so much. They say all the time, you guys are the nicest, kindest folks that call in, and I say, well, we're all like mean, rough, gruff, lawn care guys, but it's we're all teddy bears. As long as people just treat us right, we like to treat people right too. Amen. So I love it. All right. Well, guys, that's what I got for today's show. Shoot them an email, shoot them a phone call, get your marketing going. 'Tis the season. Let's make it rain. And that's what I got for you guys in today's podcast episode. Thanks so much for listening, guys. And we will catch up with you here on the next one.
In the world of lawn care, success hinges on managing expectations. At Lawntrepreneur Academy, we get it. Our commercial lawn contract is the tool that every pro needs. It's not just about mowing lawns, it's about clear communication and rock-solid agreements. Our contract covers it all, from seasonal upkeep to handling surprises. With customizable features, it's tailored to fit your business like a work glove. No more misunderstandings, just smooth sailing toward success. Get the Lawntrepreneur Academy's commercial lawn contract today and solve one of the biggest pain points in your business. The link is in the show description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.